Hello, are you hearing me? Everybody hearing me okay? Oh my gracious. Hey, thank you. Wow. Okay. Take two. I was doing my big rant about how excited I am to be back here with all of you and doing the first live weekly forecast for about 2 years on this channel. Lots of you have stuck with me here on the channel over the last couple of years when I transitioned my forecasts over to Beyond Mystic. You've been coming on to our weekly lives. I so appreciate it. Thank you very much for your patronage all this time. And let's rebuild this channel. We've got so many offerings and things that we want to bring forward in this next few weeks and months. So I'm so very pleased that you are here. Yeah, here we go. Please, if you are new here, remember to like, share, and subscribe on our channel. Ashala Yardley's YouTube channel. You can also follow us over here on Rumble. Eye of the World is the channel name. And you can check out our offerings here on the Eye of the World website. We have an incredible forum platform where we have courses, lots of courses. There's, I think, over a dozen that are already up and several here in the wings coming up in the next month or two. And all of these courses, meditations, and events are included in your membership. I'm just going to take you over so you can have a look at our meditations, which are included in your membership, and also the members platform. So we have events. Let's go down to the events section. We have upcoming events. We're having a Chinese Fire Horse year ahead. This is a virtual event, meaning you're going to join us over Zoom, and we're going to have a chat with my dear friend and colleague, Charlene, who is a 9-star key Chinese astrologer. And of course, Crystal Sunday socials. Every month we do a social, which is all of us getting together, talking, discussing different topics, and really, synergizing our energies as a community. And of course, my trip to Egypt, which is on May the 9th. There's still a couple of spots left. So go on over RSVP and you can find out more about that. All right. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Ricky and Angela, Solstice Sparkle, and Leo, Lupo, Michelle. Yes. Blessings to all of you. All right, let's get started. I'm going to bring the cards up, make them a little bit bigger. Oh, wrong one. This one. There we go. Have a look at the week ahead. So now we're going from Monday to Monday. Yeah, we're basically going to be covering the week starting today, which is the 16th, and going to 23rd, which takes us beyond the beginning of the Fire Horse year tomorrow. It takes us beyond the eclipse. So many things. I mean, I think they're happening all in the next couple of days. So, wow, what a power-packed time it is. I feel like I'm getting tired of saying this, but it really is happening. And there's no denying it. And I feel like when we know things about the astrology, when we know things about these forecasts, these long-term things that were prophesized years and years and years ago about these specific times, When we understand that, it allows us to really align that with what's going on in our lives and recognize it's not just us, it's all of us together. So we're starting off as the Knight of Wands, the Truth Warrior. And look at that. It's the fire sign and the horse. You saw me shuffling. That would be quite a trick if I was able to pull that one off the top. The fire sign horse. And what that energy symbolizes is truth, integrity, spiritual warrior aspects of ourselves really coming into alignment within ourselves. So we've all had a time of purification, of reordering our whole universe from the inside out. And that has been this whole year of the wood snake. It's been about going in and metabolizing, digesting, cleansing, clearing, purging, releasing. And now is this moment where we call the spirit of that fire energy, this other type of purification in. It almost feels like the wood snake energy was emotional. It was about our material lives, our emotional lives, our mental health. This feels spiritual. This year feels like it's about our spiritual quest. What did we come here to do? Why are we here on the planet? Each of us has our own, what I call medicine that we carry. We have strengths, we have challenges, we have gifts. Sometimes our gifts are born out of our trauma or our tragedies, and we have to really do a lot of personal work to clear the toxic part away so that the gift can shine and be really well received by everyone around us. There's been a lot of that happening, and this week is going to be, I want to say, setting that frequency for the whole year. We're going to be blasting out this energy of, okay, let's get down to business within ourselves spiritually, setting our spiritual intentions. Woo! And well, this really resonates for me. I know some of you saw my show last week where I was quite emotional about staying strong in, root chakra, finances, material resource, and so on. And, I think people might have misunderstood what was happening for me at that time. It's not that I don't have any other options or plans. It was just, I was caught off guard. We have as our family business and as my own personal vision, all kinds of plans that go into the next, 6, 8, 10 years down the road. There's so many things that I intend to build and develop, and I'm already in stages of that development. It's more that I was shocked and surprised because an important kind of, I want to say, foundation to go the next level that I was really hoping for or counting on wasn't quite what I was expecting or imagining. And so then I have to pivot and create a new foundation in its place. It's not the whole thing. I know I made it sound like the whole thing was rah. It's just because I was right in the middle of it all. She probably shouldn't have done the live last week. And I did take it down because of that fact. But this card is exactly that for all of us. It is where we realize when we are in our strength and our true integral alignment, we will live from that place, and that will create a kind of harmonizing abundance, which isn't just about money. It's the wealth that you can't measure in dollars, in crypto, in metals or whatever. You can't measure it like that because it doesn't end even in this 3D plane. It doesn't end in this life. It's wealth that you build as your inner spiritual landscape, which you take with you. That's the real bank account in this human experience, is what you make yourself into. And we get confused or scared or disrupted because there's so much focus been put on the outer realm. And I just have to draw us back into this. This card is a lot about our natural selves, or our, natural law selves, which we know better. We know that real value, real strength, real abundance is not something that you can take, buy, and hoard. It is something that you live from that place, and you make the very best out of every situation, and you're adaptable. You're not just putting all your eggs in one basket or another. You are living from a state of abundance. So this is big work, and it's here because we're getting it now. This week, we're going to feel, aha. When I'm in my strength, when I'm in my spiritual strength, my potent self, there's nothing to fear, because I'm building real abundance, which is eternal. We see this eternity sign over our strength maiden's head. She's not looking at temporal, material abundance and security. She's looking at eternal abundance and security. And that is a big healing that obviously we're not going to do it all this week, but we're going to sense it this week. We're going to have an energetic, grounded sense that we are in a new place related to what it is to. Sorry, little flip there of our, we've got a rainy, foggy day here, and I think it's affecting our Starlink, but fingers crossed, we'll keep going here. Let's look at the next card, 2 Wands. 2 Wands in Gemini. Gemini, the planner, the thinker, the architect, the communicator. 2 of Wands. 2s are about, I want to say, balance, a gateway. And this particular 2 is a lot about seeing things from a bird's eye view. You notice this character is looking at the world. He's got the world in his hand. He's seeing the big picture landscape. He's orienting himself, or reorienting himself. So like a compass, this week, your thoughts are going to find themselves reorienting to a new focus, a new focal point, a new direction, a new imagination. I call it the imagination. Your imagination is activating, and you're going to see things from a larger perspective, a greater bandwidth. So nice. Mhm. Okay. Home, which is not just your physical home. Of course it is. It's also your family of origin, your connections to your mother figures, mother nature. It's the root. It's the lowest in this wheel. It's the house down at the bottom. It's what grounds us. 8 of Swords. I'm going to be curious to see what's beside it on the other side, what's across from it. We could read that in several different ways. I'm going to start with a more positive interpretation right now, saying that, you may not see the forest for the trees with regards to home, family, your closest connections in home and family, your relationship to your mother. This might not be, you might feel a little lost in the woods this week. Let's see what's around it to see how this is going to be worked through for all of us. Okay, so we have in Leo. Leo is what we're opening our hearts, our hands, our arms. You could see Leo as being the receptor. The heart is the receptor. What are we open to? What are we receiving? We're receiving the medicine this week. I call it medicine because everything taken in the right dosage can be a good medicine for us. The medicine of the Knight of Pentacles is slow and steady, one step at a time, going, persevering, especially showing up in the material realm, being very practical. This is what we're receiving this week, the medicine of practicality, purposefulness. So if you're feeling a little bit stuck in family circumstances, in your relationship with your mother figure, a steady approach, taking one step at a time, but going in the direction of your intentions and showing up, putting your money where your mouth is. You know, the proof is in the pudding, is this card. And I'm pleased to see it there. It's not like we get to feel really necessarily successful, because Leo loves to be in the limelight. Leo loves to feel like, you know, they're succeeding. We could feel a bit like disgruntled around family and home things, but do the work anyway. This feeling is do the right thing. Now it's the second night, and the knights are, you know, they are the warriors. They're the ones that are putting forth the most effort. They're on a journey or a quest. They're going somewhere. And again, this is the week where we ignite that fire horse energy, and we have two horses, two knights. In the practicality in Leo, also being generous, because Leo is very, very generous. They're very magnanimous. They've got big hearts. Generosity, not casting your pearls before swine, not throwing too much in all directions, but also not holding back. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, Virgo, second major arcana of the spread, right across the wheel from the other one. Well, not across, but kind of on the opposite shoulder here. Lovers. Now, this card came up on my daily pull today. And, you know, the lovers have to do with our, I want to say, the refinement of our choices. The lovers has to do with upgrading our potential destiny, the timelines, and yeah, a refinement of choice. So you could be really considering this week in practical terms. Again, Virgo is very, very practical. You could be considering in practical terms even what the next 6 months look like. You could be setting some intentions and some practical strategies around very basic things like budget, lifestyle, health, diet, and so on. So that's lovely, having that conscientious decision making. Thank you, Celestial Emma. Those words came in today when I pulled that lover's card for the day. And you know, I think we struggle a bit with choice in this day and age. For one thing, we've been given a lot of choice, and then we've been given a lot of this clickbait, instant gratification, like choose this, choose that, just click here, do this, do that, you know? And we're used to quite a lot of instant gratification because of the way, even the way we go about our lives, right? How you take money out of the bank, how you pay for things, beep, click, right? And so we've sped up all of our choices. We've made ourselves, forced ourselves to like, come on, time is money, make your decision, make a decision, pivot, pivot, make a new choice. And choice making is an art form. It isn't something that you want to like just shelve and put your head in the sand and try to avoid, but it's also not something that you just want to hurry up and get done. And we have a hurry up and get done kind of hangover from these last. I was really contemplating. I had, like I said, a pretty big shamanic kind of counseling session yesterday that I was co-creating, receiving. And in that, I was really looking back at the effect, taking myself back to, I guess it was around 2009. So that's 17 years ago. Gosh, eh? Hard to believe. And that was really where, for me, I started getting on the internet a lot. That was where, the streaming platforms of movies and stuff started. And like before that, of course, we all had some internet activation, but not everybody had, smartphones, and certainly not everyone had smartphones. I think I still had a flip phone then. And how much we've sort of been pulled off our natural systems of how we make decisions, what we choose to do, how we spend our money, how we learn. And so much of it has been amazing, right? I mean, we get to do stuff like this, and I am incredibly grateful and have been amazed and surprised at how transformative and useful and even spiritual and healing the internet has been for so many of us. But just like anything else, just like any other strength or gift, it has a shadow. I'd say about 75% of it is amazing, and the other 25% of it is really yucky. And it has created these bad habits in us. So this ability to make choices, it's been really messed with. And this week, you may find yourself settling down into a deeper part, like an older part, like a pre-2009 part of you is going to come back and go, tune in with me. Remember how we used to sit with things and feel into them? Okay, King of Swords in the house of Libra. Decisions, agreements. Okay, Libra is an air sign. King of Swords is an air king. So he's well matched in that position. He likes being there. Libra likes having him there. What is he good at in that house? That house has to do with, of course, relationships, partnerships of a serious nature where we make vows and commitments. Also agreements, legal agreements, contracts, and so on, right? Libra is the scales of justice. So this character, this King of Swords in that house, he is making some really strong decisions around contracts and agreements this week. He's closing old contracts and agreements and maybe opening new ones. And this even gets into the very powerful spell casting of vows and oaths. A lot of us our ancestors or in our past lives have taken vows and oaths to things that now, looking in retrospect, were not good to be in allegiance with. So there's cord cutting. It's just making me think about crystals in the process of doing some amazing meditation offerings to put up on our site. And she's got 2 that she's working on around cord cutting. And cord cutting, of course, can be on so many levels. It can be on, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. This feels to me like on a spiritual level, this is about agreements and oaths that we have either consciously or unconsciously ticked the box, acquiesced. And we're going to have a sense this week of, no, I'm going to unsubscribe. I'm unsubscribing. I'm not ticking that box anymore. I'm not agreeing to this. There's boundary setting, and then there's new activation. I am now making this oath or this agreement. And then it's even in the personal level. This is my intention of how I'm stepping forward. We have a lot of influence. I'm being shown to set a tone in this week with all this eclipse season and the fire horse activation. We have the potential to set a very powerful intention and tone that will take us all the way for the next 6 months. So like to August. Love to see you all there in the comments. Yay, South Alabama. Oh, Celestial Emma is saying Libra is now opposite Saturn in Aries. Isn't that interesting? Opposite Saturn in Aries. So we've got that fiery Aries, a fire sign. Saturn is about responsibility and duties. So the duty to make new agreements, to break things that don't serve or are out of alignment, out of integrity. He is the integrity. He is the integrity meter. And he is the kind of discernment activator or architect. So the discernment and integrity across from each other. Very powerful. All right, let's go to Scorpio. Yay, Scorpio. I have to say, when I come around to Scorpio each week in the forecast, it's one of the places where I go, you can always count on Scorpio to really tell it like it is. You can count on the house of Scorpio to give you sort of the bottom line of things. Scorpio is the bass note of the whole wheel. And the bass note is another earth card, another earth court card, Page of Pentacles. So for those of you that have been following me for a while, you know what this guy represents in my wheelhouse, in my worldview. He has a lot to do with how we are initiating new things in the material realm. So often, if he shows up here in Virgo, it's like we're creating new healthy habits, new lifestyle. Because he's in Scorpio, I feel like it's really about, again, similar to this Knight of Pentacles in Leo, it's about live by your truth, put your money where your mouth is, like follow through. And, even if you have to kind of go back to basics, which makes a lot of sense for me and what's going on in my world, even if you kind of have to go back to basics with some of your strategy and some of your intention or building, there's going to be good things in that for you. It's going to actually serve you. It's kind of like coming back down to earth and getting really rooted before you start to grow a new tree. Yeah. How does that feel to everybody? I love it. And I love him across from this strength. Wow. Strength and the Page of Pentacles. Also really aligned with nature, abundance in the world of food and, you know, land and growing your own food, all that kind of thing. You'll notice that both of them are out in the country. Do you see that? They're both out in the country. Very similar kind of landscape and skyscape. And then also our Knight of Pentacles is out in the country. He's actually, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can kind of see the furrows. He's plowing the fields. He's preparing for new growth. So that practicality energy, for those of us here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're heading into just the inklings of spring planning in our gardens and so on. This year could be a bumper crop in every way. But literally, not so much metaphorically, literally. Nature wants to work with us this year. So if you have any aspect of green thumb or green fingers, as they say in the UK, this is a time for you to start planning what you're going to do with that. It feels like it would be great for all of us to imagine planting, getting involved in planting and growing food this year and design that. And if this is part of what you do, prepare for a really abundant harvest year. Wow. Okay. See if I can slide the table down a little bit. There we go. So, Judgment in Sagittarius. Big wake up. Go big or go home. Now, this gets a little bit political feeling to me because it has to do, I feel, around, we've got this character often is associated with Sagittarius. It's sovereignty, it's natural law, it's, freedom of speech. Like Sagittarius rules our speaking the truth, telling the truth, being the whole truther movement, you could say, would spring from the house of Sagittarius. It's quite revolutionary and it doesn't compromise on that aspect of things. We're going to see revelations continue to pour out all the way, I'm hearing, into the third week of April. We're just seeing wave after wave after wave of disclosure. And very, very important to, keep pushing for that. Keep advocating for that. It seems as though we're going to, we're going to see some kind of revival of people's. So again, I've heard a lot of the astrologers commenting on how the volatility of this month and the next 3 or 4 weeks. Interestingly, so far, I'm not seeing the volatility. I'm seeing the inner mobility, the inner will, like not from a extreme perspective, but from this very decisive, practical, grounded, it's kind of like where we used to be like, I want this over in a week. And now we're like, I don't care if this takes 100 lifetimes. We're doing this and it's happening. It's that grounded kind of showing up in a very big way for revelations, for exposure, for truths. And it isn't as exhausting because it's finally happening. Do you feel that? I often say to people, because I've been on the truther path for so long, I've been feeling fantastic ever since, 2020 when everything so many people woke up. I've been like, "Oh, this is great. I'm relaxed now. I can just, buckle in for the long haul." But if you're new to it, it seems like, why doesn't everybody know? I think many of you are at the place now where you're like, "Oh," chuckling in a way and going, "I get it." We're the thin edge of the wedge. We are the tip of the spear. We're the pioneers. We're the trailblazers. But doesn't it feel good to have this swell of affirmation? And it isn't even about we're right or we're wrong. It's about what do we get to do now? What do we get to do differently when this swell or tsunami of disclosure clears the path? What are we going to do? It's making room. It's like if the house of cards is crumbling or thrown up in the air, well, we can pick them up and design something new. Yeah. Aw. Tarot by Lupo, Sagittarius. We love you, Sagittarius. You're all so fantastic. Natural truthers, honest, integral. And again, we're doing it because we love being part of the solutions. We love being part of the revolution that creates the waves of change. We're doing it because it's what we signed up for, and it actually feels good, especially when we feel some momentum, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. What a great thing to say. Thank you, Shannon. A few years ago, frustrated that I would have said, leave the normies and get the show on the road. Now I just want to hug them all. I remember the heartbreak I went through, growth. Yep, that's it. And I think, your comment is interesting because in a way we do need to leave them behind to get the show on the road. That is in terms of not over coddling them. They're going to have to face some stuff and go through some hardship, right? Definitely will give them some encouragement. But at the same time, why are we at the head of the pack? Well, because we are the trailblazers and we are also the builders of the new. So we got to get the show on the road for sure. And it feels like we can do that. We can do that because there's enough momentum swirling now. Mhm. Beautiful. The bigger picture. And again, interestingly, look back. Look back over the last 2 years, look back over the last 20 years. Things have shifted so much, so much. And if we think the next 2 years are gonna be exponentially more, right? It's almost like we could get to a point where the change happens so fast that if we're not galloping at a fast pace into the future right now, the change is gonna overtake us. And we're gonna be like, "Hey, I used to be at the head of the new wave, but now the wave has overcome me and gone on beyond me because I was too busy waiting and worrying and struggling." Yeah, we gotta cut ourselves free and just go out of the gate with the fire horse, like, build the new, do the work, heal, grow, let go of that past. Um, Healing, and there will be, by the way, time and years down the road where we can do more integration of the grief of all of this, which last year was quite a lot of that. The wood snake was a lot of processing the grief and all the old energy that was stuck inside of us. This year, the healing has begun. And I keep saying, this year, I know for many of you, well, the year started, 6 weeks ago, but according to many, many systems, even before the, the calendar, the current calendar system, the year did start in the spring. So we really are at that turning point of renewal and a reset here in the Northern Hemisphere anyway. Temperance is in the house of Capricorn. How lovely. All you Capricorns out there, just put your arms around yourself, give yourself a big squeeze, give yourself a nice little pat on the back, because you are serious. You're serious, hardworking, Saturn. You're ruled by Saturn, discipline, maturity, carrying the burdens of the world on your shoulder. Capricorn energy, all the part of us that has been in that, it's all on me. I got to carry it all. I got to do it. I got to do the hard graft. It's a struggle to be disciplined, be in gear. There's going to be a feeling this week of, someone is just letting the, I don't know, it's almost like, it's like recess time or something. Like you get to have a breather and you get to replenish yourself. So that is for Capricorns or anyone who has Capricorn strongly in their chart. It's also for all of us in that upper house, which relates to your purpose, your ambition, your self-actualization. There's a sense that you're coming back down into a deep, deep part of yourself that feels so, so comforted and comforting. And it's almost like we've ended a chapter where we were distracted away from this part of ourselves. And this week, you're going to feel renewal, renewal, renewal around destiny, ambition, self-actualization, and purpose. Even if you don't know exactly what all that is going to be, you feel differently about it. You feel like you're back in touch with what your true values are and your heart. It's heart-centered. Wait. Wow, look at that lineup up at the top. That's great, isn't it? Isn't it great? And okay, so reversals and unexpected or right on time sudden shifts of things, but pretty well aspected. We don't know what's over in this mystery house of Pisces yet, but so far, Temperance on one side and this Knight of Wands. So healing, spiritual integrity across from that Knight of Pentacles, which is very practical, grounded, solid. I mean, things could shift very quickly, and it feels like it's a positive shift. So, be prepared to be surprised. And, where we say certain things didn't meet our expectations, well, other things could exceed your expectations this week. Be prepared to have your expectations exceeded in some unexpected area of your life. So, yeah, fortune favors the brave. Timing and full circle cycles. Things have come around. We're talking about cycles here, a lot of cycles within cycles within cycles. Aw, thank you. Thank you, Lupo. It is a nice lineup up here, isn't it? It feels, if you think about, if you think about that top house as the crown chakra, sometimes when you're doing readings, you can see this top area really blocked. And when you've got beautiful opening like this, like upgrade, reversals or renewal, something new, and then the healing right at the top, crown chakra healing, which to me is our spiritual selves are being healed and restored and brought into harmony this week. Wow. Yeah, I'm really feeling the color purple, violet, the violet hue being activated. Oh, yes. I was like, well, we don't know what's going to be over in Pisces because, you just never know about Pisces. Pisces is more because it's the hidden, it's sort of like the mystery package. When you were a kid and you used to go to the store and buy the mystery bag. Pisces is like the mystery package. You just don't know. It could be something amazing. It could be something really awful, right? So we kind of always go like, hey, I hope it's good, but we have no real idea what it's going to be. Well, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. In fact, very good. We've got the two biggest upgrade cards of the tarot. Funny enough. Judgment, number 20. And it also has this cross in the middle of it, which is to me about the four corners. We've got the four corners here in our Wheel of Fortune, and we've got the four wands here, which is another gateway of upgrades. So this is the small scale upgrade, and this is the huge collective upgrade on a world level because Sag has to do with world events as well. Expansiveness, ruled by Jupiter. So yeah, the macro and the micro. The micro is you'll have a sense of renewal and upgrade, and the large picture is so will the collective. So we'll feel it internally and we'll experience it outside. I'm really feeling and hearing breathing this week. Breathe, breathe, breathe. More than you think you need to. Every time you find yourself even remembering to breathe, stop and do like 4 breaths. 4 is, I want to say, balancing and stabilizing. 4 is the stabilizer. And in numerology, we can use the counting of our breaths to help bring certain aspects. So aspects like the number 4 relates to stability. If you want to create stability in your heart, your mind, your wealth and abundance, and, breathing 4 deep, full breaths where you let it all out and then you fill it all up slowly. That helps. And then you go back to just normal breathing and carry on with your regular day. If you can do that several times this week, we're going to be aligning ourselves in a good way with that 4 energy. Yeah. Look at the major arcanas, right? How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 12. That's almost half, and there's only like less than a third of the deck. So we are on the higher end of major arcana, but they are lovely ones. Strength, lovers, judgment, temperance, wheel of fortune, very, very, I want to say, upgrading major arcana. Not the challenging ones that get in there and mess with us. Let's see what's at the end here. So the hub of the wheel, we're back down to here. The mother, the feminine. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little story. Have a little story time around this card and how I used to tell this story around her. this Queen of Cups, she is the mother of water, the mother of emotion. And in a earlier time on this earth, when the divine feminine qualities of nurturing, sensitivity, intuition, compassion, gentleness, when those qualities were highly valued, the feminine, this part of the feminine was healthy. She was healthy. When these qualities went down in value and eventually were severely repressed, she became, I want to say, disempowered. And then she began to act out and become manipulative, needy, like a drama queen, like a, woe is me, and like a victim. So she has, this Queen of Cups has had it's the Queen of Hearts, Alice in Wonderland. This Queen of Cups has had a very bad reputation. And she's kind of climbing out of the gutter right now, is what I'm hearing them say. And she doesn't feel like she trusts us very much. So this part of us, the divine feminine qualities of all those things, and you just look at, for example, what we pay childcare workers as opposed to what we pay military people. Yeah, what do we pay midwives? What do we pay people that look after children? What do we pay executive CEOs of multinational corporations? What do we pay military? What do we pay, athletes, top athletes? It's one of the lowest paying positions, any kind of care, really, like frontline care aides, people that work, nursing has become a much more, almost like a lower form of being a doctor. But the people that do the frontline care, they get the minimal pay. And childcare workers, just above the poverty line. So what does that say? Culturally, we're saying that doesn't have value. It doesn't have value to care for people. That's weakness. Shame on you. You should go for a serious career. Yeah. I kind of, yeah, it's delicate, right? It's delicate to say this because we all carry it on some level. But it's just like a wounded animal or an abused animal. It's not going to trust you right away, right? So she's revitalizing, she's coming, she's reconstituting right now. But she's very timid. I want to say she's strong underneath that, but she's still going to look victimized. So this is a lot about healing, again, the Divine Mother. Story complete. Comments? A traditional soul. Thank you, Lupo. A traditional soul. Oh, I thought you said traditional, a troubled soul. Okay. I think she is both. She is a traditional soul. She's a traditional wise woman. She would have been an oracle, a medicine woman, a healer. The original healer, by the way, in human form. Divine healing in human form. But boy, has she been down into the gutter with her. And I knew this when I was studying tarot. I learned that, I read it or something like that, and developed that opinion 25 years ago. I used to tell that story when I was doing readings about her, when she came into a reading. So it puts us in recognition of here we are in this healing, and look at where we are down in the root. The root is not healed, but she's awakening. She's awakening. And I think that's lovely. Aw, thank you. Thank you. All right, everybody. This has been so, so good. My heart is full of magic, full of inspiration. This part of me is coming out and feeling a lot of gratitude that the time is now. Oh, what a lovely thing to say, Lisa. If we could all say collectively that the normals will be okay during this transition, they just might be. And that is the power of your words, right? Spell casting. Your thoughts and your words carry a lot of power. Of course, your emotions behind those thoughts and words are the reference point for that power. I'm going to do my own little promo now, everybody. Watch me roll. Yeah. So back over we go to Eye of the World. Back up we go. You know, if you haven't subscribed, jump on over there and subscribe. And this, I'm going to go to the home page here for a second. This, can I get onto the home page? There we go. These memberships, there's a 30% off. You see down here in the corner, you just have to click on that and it gives you a coupon to get 30% off your annual membership. That is good until, oh, did I get, yeah, there we go. That is good until the end of March. So if you or anyone you know wants to check that out, please come on over to eyeoftheworld.ca, not .com, not .net, and you'll find us there. And also, of course, please follow us over here on Rumble. I apologize so profusely for what happened on Rumble today, everybody. Basically, what happened was I had done my StreamYard by mistake. I had put it through Beyond Mystic StreamYard, not ours. So I had to go cancel the shows and re-put them up. And when I put them up, for some reason, we don't have on our Rumble that we can post 2 lives concurrently. So the live show for tomorrow, which is the Fire Horse, is up there on Rumble right now, but today's show was not up there. Next week, we'll have that sorted out, and we'll have both the regular forecast, which is always going to be on Mondays at this time going forward, and also Crystal and my live Q&A, which is always going to be on Tuesdays at our usual time. Tomorrow's live Q&A is not going to be Crystal and I. It's going to be myself and my dear friend Charlene, and we are going to be covering the Fire Horse year. And of course, you can find us here. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel so we can start to grow it back. And we're so very, very grateful to share this time with all of you. Big blessings, everybody. Have a beautiful week. We'll see you tomorrow or next Monday. Bye for now.